William betrayed. Powerless Charles buys Harry a UK home. Backed into a corner, the king has made a shocking U-turn. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel. Reportedly, King Charles has been left furious that the melodrama surrounding Harry and Meghan is continuing to overshadow his royal duties, and this is coming from insiders who spoke with Woman's Day magazine. Last month, Charles made a visit to see the French Prime Minister Macron, and people were happy to see him there. But this visit was quickly tarnished by reports that Harry had rebuffed Charles's invitation to stay at Balmoral to mark the anniversary of the late Queen's passing, and that Charles had also denied Harry a room to stay in at Windsor Castle. The source reports Charles knows this issue isn't going to go away, and he's getting fed up with his personal life generating more headlines than his public duties. Already, Harry's coming in and out, and it reflects badly on the family for him to be staying at random hotels and friends' homes. And on top of all that, Charles also needs to figure out the issue of Harry's role as a counselor of state, which means that he is one of the 7 members of the family who can deputize for the king if he's unwell or if he's overseas. By law, counselors of state are required to have a home in Britain, but Harry's based in California now, and of course he and Meghan were kicked out of Frogmore Cottage this year. Charles doesn't really have a choice. If he wants to keep Harry as a counselor of state, the law is the law, and he must have some kind of local presence in order to be effective as a potential stand-in for the king. So Charles is toying with giving him one of his UK homes. But William is not going to be very happy about this news. If he goes ahead and props Harry up again, there will be hell to pay as far as William is concerned. He's always struggled with his father's soft spot for Harry, who is always so easily forgiven. It's frustrating that he has betrayed them all and hurt them so much, but because of his father's sentimental desire to keep Harry as one of his trusted 7, he's going to land a pretty nice home, most likely in Kensington Palace. Harry also viciously went after his own brother and his sister-in-law. And of course, men in the family want to protect their partners. William, as heir, has a lot of influence over his father, but Harry really went after both their wives, and that needs to be responded to. William is going to support the monarchy in public over Harry, of course. Harry was the one who decided he didn't want to support the monarchy anymore. Now, is the king really powerless to stop Harry? No. I think the king is a clever man, and he's playing the long game. He's not going to give Harry or Meghan any occasion to again cry racism and victimhood in interviews and books and docuseries, podcasts. He does love Harry. I understand that. He is his son in spite of his problems. He knows that Harry misses his old life but can't figure out a way back. Harry is suffering from PTSD from his mother's passing. Whether it's right or wrong, his problems with his family have been exacerbated since he got together with Meghan. Meghan smelled opportunity, and that was it. And Harry, because he was so head over heels in love with Meghan, agreed to publish some really bad things about his family in exchange for money, fame, and fortune. But I don't really think he thought it through fully. His behavior has alienated him from everybody in the UK. And once that marriage is over, he's going to consider his options. He's probably going to decide that he's got to come back to his family, even if it means he needs to apologize. Meghan knew that Diana was incredibly popular in the US, and she used the fact that Harry is the son of Diana to try to elevate herself in the US. All this stuff about his unresolved grief is just a part of that. Meghan and Harry are always trying to remind people of who Harry's mother was. So basically, they're trying to tell us that we've got to love them because of Diana. The irony in this situation, though, is that if Diana had survived, she and Meghan would have hated each other. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but they still got their sycophants. And there are PR companies who are still supporting this toxic pair because they can see a lot of mileage to be had there. And we can say the same for the media outlets who obviously support Meghan and Harry because they are opposed to the monarchy just for what it represents. I gotta admit, too, the gruesome twosome certainly are determined. I think that Meghan is still obsessed with getting the top job and she's gonna stop at nothing to get there. And Harry is just so filled with spite and resentment. He's gonna stop at nothing to get to the top, too. I suspect at this point Harry is using Meghan to get what he wants. And they do share a common goal. They have their shared determination, and that's what keeps them together. Meghan and Harry are a couple of phonies. They are determined phonies, but they're still a couple of phonies. And they are supported by people who hate the monarchy, people who want to see the monarchy destroyed. To oppose the situation requires the action and the determination of the current monarch. So King Charles has got to do something. And I've kind of suspected that Meghan has gotten away with as much as she has because she could be blackmailing the royal family. The question, though, is what she's got on the royal family. Now, some people have already said it could be Harry's abuse towards women, or it could be something that was filmed at Soho House. But I'm sure the royal family knows exactly what's going on. They have all the information on Meghan's past. So if Meghan ever acted in some adult films, they know about it. If Meghan ever worked as an escort, both on or off yachts, they know all about it. There's also that bullying report, which I'm sure is not going to exonerate her behavior. Come on. Even though it hasn't been their way of operating in the past, I suspect a preemptive strike on Meghan's past and character before that book comes out would be justified. You see, if Meghan really goes after the royals in some book that she's writing, it's not going to work out well for her. It's going to blow up in her face. It's going to be the end of her reputation and her demise as an actress. She might as well start digging her own grave at that point. I mean, her mind, I know, is so focused on the fact that she might get $100 million that she's being offered by these gossip media outlets. But if she writes that book and puts a lot of hateful stuff about the royal family in it, it's going to be the end for her. I mean, just look at how well it's worked out for Harry, trashing his own family. Not very well, right? Now nobody wants to touch him with a 10-foot pole. It has alienated him from his family, and Meghan should really consider the ramifications that this would bring to her own acting career. And what about the invisible children? I can't see how this book could possibly help them out. If Meghan publishes a book of lies on the royal family, it's just going to make more and more people rush to their defense. And that includes me. Why? Because we care about coming after this hateful, horrible woman at all costs. And if this has to include her invisible children right along with Harry, well, that's fine. And you, do you agree with the views in my video? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. And now we have come to my favorite time, the time for talking about your comments that you left in the last video called "Bunch of Shitto Couple Decided to Change Their Appearance to Fit Hollywood." Let's talk about what you had to say. First comment is from Susan. When in desperation, spend more money to look more ridiculous. The most attractive of people sometimes lose that attractiveness by simply opening their mouth. Now, I don't think Meghan's attractive in the first place, but at this point, Susan, I can't even tell because she has such horrible stuff coming out of her mouth. You could be onto something here. And then we've got Charlie. The grifters can try to change their image, appearance, and personality. Big mistake. Their rotten character remains. So true. I think that's the one thing they're incapable of changing. And then Kathleen, it's staggering the way they squander money. What are they going to do when they're down to their last million? Dad's wallet is closed. And thank goodness for that. I do see some difficult times ahead for Meghan and Harry, but it's their own fault. They need to learn the value of a dollar. And another great comment from Kate London. Instead of a hair transplant, Harry needs a heart, soul, brain transplant. I mean, look at William. He's long been losing his physical hair, but he is the most popular world figure in America. It's not having more follicles, Harry. The fact you think that's what you need to change says all we need to know about why you are in this mess in the first place. Kate, thank you so much for another excellent comment. Again, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has been leaving comments, and if you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share to anyone else who would enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe to our The King YouTube channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening, and we'll be back to see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you all.